You, hey you. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Are you tired of the same old podcasts with the same old panels and the same old rhetoric? So am I. So come spend time with me, where you can have a laugh, be entertained, and learn something. I'm your host, Nova, and welcome to School of Thought. Class is in session.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It is Thanksgiving and nobody knows I'm going live right now because I didn't know I was going to go live too. Indeed. But here we are at Thanksgiving at 1 a.m. Star was bored. Nova Star was bored. And I was like, I'm feeling a little bit better. I've been on the antibiotics and here we are. I decided to just go live. We got lots of things to cover today. We're going to have a little bit of chit chat, a little bit of fun. We're going to look at some of the news. We're going to look at some disgusting things about the brand of Campbell's. Thank you to Valuetainment for bringing this to my attention because I was not looking at the internet for the last 2 days per se. And then we're going to look at something about how the RedPill is taking its last breath on life support. And a good friend of mine wrote a bomb track about how it's going the other way into the other dimension as it lulls itself to sleep and then rolls over and goes kaput. Hello to everyone. Oh, there's somebody in here. We got Self-Made, my buddy Toasty, my other buddies, and Pass. Hey. Good to see you. Is that, oh, it's Snoopy. You got a Snoopy icon. We love Snoopy here. Did anybody watch the old-fashioned Charlie Brown Thanksgiving? That used to be on the repertoire growing up of things to watch and having fun. And trying to get kids today to watch some of the old cartoons is like pulling teeth, let me tell you. Try to get them away from this boring crap that they like to watch and watch some of the older stuff so they get more depth, If only I could just erase time a little bit and say, here, watch this instead. But, they just like to always go with whatever's current. So Self-Made, just so you know, I do not have the audio. So if you let me know if I'm able, do we transfer? I don't know if I'm good. I don't know if I'm good enough at this live, but we'll give it a go. All right. And it's on my phone, which is the worst part. Can I transfer it to my PC? Let's see. Work as my computer is taking also its last breath. But anyways, let's also read something while we take a look. Okay, so did anybody see about the DC shooter dude? I'm a little appalled at what's going on. Okay, but hey, we've got to deal with what we got to deal with, right? Let's see. Let's get this thing moving. Let me remove this because they want to take that part off. Stop screen share. Yes, I'm having technical difficulties. Yes, I suck at this, but you know what? I'm going to get better, so it's okay. Here we go. Where did it go? I even got a video from this kid who got arrested for tax evasion. Can you imagine that? Now you got to owe millions upon millions like Wesley Snipes usually to get them to go that far. But I didn't get to watch the whole video, so maybe if we've got time, we'll go into that too. This is the holiday season, and a lot of people are lonely during this season. You know that? A lot of people get really depressed. And like say, in 2 days, my grandfather who raised me will have had a heart attack. By the first week of December, he will have been gone. I hate this time of the year. I love this time of the year, but I hate this time of the year. And I'm wearing my mom's jewelry today as in memoriam because he designed all of it. And so I hold them close to my heart. So all of you who are a little sad out there because of family, don't worry. You're in good stead. The Lord still loves you, and it's going to be okay. All right, let's read this thing. DC National Guard shooting suspect identified as an Afghan national who had worked with the CIA. Here's what we know. Well, at least what they want you to know, right? An Afghan national named, I cannot pronounce this person's name, so I'll do the best I can. And the last name, we're not even going to bother. So Rahmanullah, something like that, has been identified as the suspect shooter in the ambush attack that killed, can we say that word now, one National Guard member and wounded another just blocks away from the White House on Wednesday. The Department of Homeland Security said the CIA's Thursday that, gosh, I'm not going to say his name, Lakanwal previously worked with the U.S. government, including the CIA, as a member of a partner force in Kandahar that ended in 2021. Following the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan, suspect was shot by another Guard member and taken into custody. Officials said he is currently hospitalized. No other suspects have been identified in connection with the shooting. Multiple law enforcement sources told CBS News. U.S. Attorney Janine Pirro said Thursday that the suspect will be charged with 3 counts of assault and with intent to kill while armed, and will also be charged with possession of a firearm during a crime of violence. Even on government ground, I don't know. There should be a little more severe than that. Like that would be also a terrorist attack. The charges could still change pending the condition of the Guard's members. Here's what we know about the suspect so far. Story will be updated as additional information is confirmed. You know, let me know, because I've got like 3 things streaming at once. I'm on Kick, I'm on X, and I've got vertical, and I've also got horizontal going. Hey, Amanda, it's good to see you, girl. We love you here. Keep bringing the ladies in. Where did my stinking thing go? Here he is. Here he is. He looks like a sweetheart, right? Let's see. He's 29, entered the United States in 2021. Multiple law enforcement sources told CBS News on Wednesday. Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem said on X that the suspect was paroled into the U.S. on September 8, 2021, under a Biden-era program. Good old Biden. For Afghan nationals called Operation Allies Welcome. President Trump described him as a foreigner who entered our country from Afghanistan, a hellhole on earth. In a video message late Wednesday, he said the suspect's status was extended under legislation signed by President Biden. Department of Homeland Security official told CBS News the suspect was paroled into the U.S. on humanitarian grounds back in 2021. That was the main legal mechanism, and Biden administration used to welcome tens of thousands of Afghanistan evacuees after the Taliban takeover in 2021 of August, whatever, potato of a month, you know, whatever. Later applied for asylum with the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services in 2024. And his application was granted in 25, DHS officials said, but his request for a green card, which is tied to the asylum grant, is pending. Interesting, right? Many of the Afghanistan nationals who were admitted to the U.S. in 2021 were issued special immigrant visas offered to those who worked alongside the military during its 20-year war. Really, he would have been a little bit young, wouldn't he? For 20 years? He's only 29, 27, right? Okay, we'll play with that. And it also says those were worked alongside the military in its 20-year war, while others were given a temporary humanitarian status known as parole. More than 8,000 people from Afghanistan were also granted deportation relief under a separate program called temporary protection status, which Biden extended in 2023, but Mr. Trump chose to end earlier this year. We'll stop with that right there. Let's take a look at the chat. And let's say hi past. Yep. Anybody who is lurking about, welcome. Remember to like and to subscribe. So all you sinners out there, you've been getting drunk, you've been behaving, you're being good boys and girls. If not, well, the church lady might have something to say to you. Do you remember who the church lady is? My goodness, I'm slow tonight.
Well, isn't that special?
That church lady, Dana Carvey, at his finest. All right, let's start sharing the screen for the next one, because I'm having a heck of a time finding it all. shaking the country to its core from Sky News in Australia. Let's take a look at what they're saying about us today.
A lot of people went to bat for to try and make sure that we didn't leave them behind as well when we left Afghanistan. So I don't know if there's mental health issues here. I assume there probably are, but it's really sort of it's
Let's slow that down.
To its core here at the Thanksgiving holiday that somebody that we thought was one of our friends turns out to turn his weapon on the armed forces of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and one of the things, Mick, that I've found really disturbing about this, and again, we don't know what the motives are yet. There hasn't been any release of a manifesto or report about what he's been browsing online or anything like that. But what we do know is that we're in a climate right now in the United States where the National Guard has been repeatedly demonized, and I played a number of clips of very senior Democrats talking about what the National Guard is doing in American cities. It seems like whatever motivated this, there is a broader issue here where the left is kind of playing with fire.
If he was our friend, why is he suddenly our foe? Somebody answer that question. According to that news article I just read, we're looking at 20 years, but this guy doesn't have 20 years. So how did he make it into the lineup of gentlemen to be our aides and our friends as opposed to our follies, our foes, right?
In terms of demonizing people who are serving the country and following the orders of Donald Trump.
There are, James, and of course,
God's favorite aunt. Welcome, honey. I'm glad to see you here.
Of course, I think we get a chance to talk about the video that many of the lawmakers put out this week about violating or not following illegal orders, which has really caused a great deal of concern here. But again, you would think that of all the people that would be immune to that type of brainwashing, that type of messaging, that type of incitement, would be the people who are either with or near the armed forces to begin with. And that's what this guy was. I mean, he worked with our armed forces. So again, you're right. There's still a lot we're going to find out, but none of it's going to be
Hello,
good.
Welcome in.
It's going to have an absolutely chilling effect on legal immigration.
Remember to
because this
honey.
guy did come here legally. There's no question about that.
Mm-hmm.
I believe there's some reporting out now.
You sure did.
Again, it's very early on that it was the Trump administration that approved his continued time in the country. That could turn out to be somewhat accurate. I don't know yet. Again, we're speculating, but none of it's good, James. None of it's good at all.
And, you mentioned that video here, and I'm glad you mentioned it because I've talked about this at the start of the program. Let me just play again a little bit more of this video. And people are calling these people the seditious six. But let's go back and have just another little look again at some of what that video had to say.
Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
Now, again, this idea where you have prominent Democrats and prominent former intelligence officials, which I think is interesting here, again, saying you can refuse illegal orders, not an order that's come down that they're referring specifically to, but that they seem to be trying to separate the chain of command here. What do you think should happen to these people? Because I know Trump wants the FBI investigating them. I know Mark Kelly could be in some trouble here. What do you think?
I think investigation is appropriate. I'll be clear. I don't think I thought the president's call to have these people hanged for treason right away, it was over the top. It doesn't.
How is that over the top? That's part of our laws, isn't it? We got people coming here onto our land doing horrible things, right? 2 people lost their lives, according to the news so far, right? So how is that not justified?
Doesn't help the debate, okay? But these people, this is wrong. This is absolutely wrong. Keep in mind, let's start from the very basic premise. And I do a little bit.
It's wrong, but don't persecute. Don't use the laws. Yeah, right. I don't think so.
Of work with the cadets at the West Point Academy. They all know this. This is not news. Going on TV or the internet and saying, oh, by the way, you don't have to follow illegal orders.
Shane.
Every member, every officer knows that. That is literally beaten into them during their training. So this was not educational in any way, shape, or form. This was to try and undermine the president. And I think it's noteworthy, James, that when a couple of the folks who have made this video have gone out to do press to follow up, they've been asked a fairly straightforward question, which is, okay, you say that these folks don't have to follow illegal orders. What illegal orders has Donald Trump? And has a single example? Because as far as we can tell, there haven't been any. So the only reason to do this would be to undermine the president of the United States as the commander-in-chief. I don't know what other explanation there is for this, because it can't be educational, and it certainly doesn't speak to a specific example. So again, it's an example of what's wrong in this country. Mark Kelly's in a different place in the.
I think I would like what? Did I miss something? Let's see. Yes, thank you. I am starting to feel better. As you can tell, my laryngitis is starting to go away. My goodness, who would have known that strep was creeping about? I didn't have any of the normal symptoms to me. I didn't have a raging sore throat, raging fever, nothing. It just kind of was like a gradual uphill. Put my ass in the ER. I actually started getting rashes on my face and stuff. Can you imagine? Yeah, so when you think it might actually be, instead of just a cold, it might be strep throat. And strep can kill your ass, because that's scarlet's fever. Just so you know.
The other elected officials, because even though he is a member of the Senate, he's also a former member of the military and subject to be recalled under to reserve duty and so forth. So would be followed under different rules. But I hope there's a full investigation. This is wrong, and it needs to stop.
I agree completely, and I worry that this is going to lead down some very sinister avenues if it is not checked right now. But Mick, I also just want to ask about some other things going on right now. And this story has, I think, floated by a lot of people here, but there's a by-election going to happen, a special.
Okay, I'm downloading the audio. I'm wondering if I should put this as background music. Let me know, self-made. Or if I should put this as a overlay. Because if I don't do an overlay, I don't think it will come in as clear, to be quite frank. Let me know quickly, please.
Election in Tennessee District 7 next month, in a district that President Trump comfortably won by 22 points last year. But now there's been some recent polling, and they are worried that they could lose this seat and see their House majority slip to, well, essentially nothing. And this comes off of the back of Marjorie Taylor Greene's resignation as well. Are there some concerns here around the backbench of the Republicans, particularly about, A, their majority,
okay,
but B,
got
also
it.
I've heard some worries about their treatment by the White House. What have you been hearing, Nick?
A lot of that, James, is going to a couple different pieces of it. Keep in mind, every party that underperforms in a special election or a by-election always says, well, they're special elections for a reason. They don't follow the ordinary trends, et cetera, et cetera. But that's just what they say for the television cameras. The Republicans are worried to death about this. Even if they win this election in a squeaker, they win by 5 points or less, that will send shockwaves through the Republican Party, because that is a really, really bad sign. It comes on the heels of us Republicans underperforming 3 weeks ago in the off-year elections in New Jersey and Virginia. So, yeah, there is dissatisfaction within the Republican ranks. They are worried about getting wiped out in the midterms. And they are, even to your point, talking about some of them leaving early to deny Mike Johnson the speakership and give it to the Democrats now. Under the theory, number one, it's inevitable at the midterms anyway, they think. And number two is a punishment for mistreatment by the leadership of the House and by the White House. That's a tough place
Blah, blah,
to
blah,
be.
blah, blah.
Listen, I've been a member of the House.
I don't know. My conspiratorial side says most of this crap is fixed anyway. I'm sure I'm wrong. The democratic process must always continue. But, most of it's a show for the rest of us, honestly.
I wasn't a member of the House during a Republican administration, but I know members of the Democrat Party who felt like they were taken for granted by the Obama leadership. And it's an unhappy place to be, especially when you think you're going into the minority. There's nothing worse than being in the minority in the United States House of Representatives. You basically don't count for anything when it comes to voting and so forth. So, yeah, it's an unhappy time right now, James, with the Republican Party. There's still plenty of time to turn things around. And of course, a lot of President Trump's policies haven't sort of sunk in yet. A lot of things, one big, beautiful bill haven't kicked in. Deregulation hasn't kicked in. So there's still time. But I got to tell you that it's not a very happy Thanksgiving for a lot of Republicans right now.
Yeah, no, it doesn't sound like it. It sounds like a bit of a worry with what really effectively 9 or 10 months of actual real work until the midterms. Hey, you mentioned Thanksgiving, and Mick, before I let you get back to your table,
I'm about to click them off. Bunch of blowhards. Yes.
Every guest.
I see you. What am I missing? To my phone I go.
Tonight, what's your favorite Thanksgiving side dish? And do you agree with me that cranberry sauce is better out of a can?
Yeah, James, I'm going to disagree with you because I don't like cranberry sauce. I never did. My dad ate it. I don't like it one way or the other. Now, if you put a gun to my head, I would eat it out of a can as opposed to fresh. I'm with you on that one. But in my mind, all it does is pollute the mashed potatoes anyway. And why would you do that? There's no reason to ruin perfectly good mashed potatoes or turkey stuffing.
My mashed potatoes and turkey stuffing came out bomb. I don't know what he's talking about. Let's see what Shane had to say. Swing against the administration is normal. Every government loses special elections, and they always lose the midterms. Every president, Republican or Democrat, for more than 100 years, and he is absolutely correct. She doesn't like looking down at her phone all straight like some folks. You know what? I'm sorry I can't juggle the way you do, who's been doing it a million years. Pass wanted me to send this to you. I will look at that in a few seconds. I have no idea what's going on. Amanda. Yes, he is enjoying his Thanksgiving. His mom cooked. Everything looked delicious.
For that matter. So no, I'm a purist. I'm not a cranberry sauce guy. Give me the turkey, the mashed potatoes, the gravy, some stuffing, and that's all I really need. Nothing green. I don't need anything green on that plate at all.
So I guess that means he doesn't eat his broccoli or his green beans. And I'm sure his cholesterol is thanking him for that. Huh. All right, let's see what the FBI has got to say about some of this. FBI. Present. And this is 9 hours ago from 13 News Now. Don't ask me 13 News where at the moment. I am uncertain.
They're still in the hospital, and federal officials have identified the suspect as an Afghan national who came to the U.S. in 2021. ABC's Karen Travers has the latest.
The victims of...
Hold on. What are we doing? Where's this going? Let me look. I'm looking. Okay, I see it. All right, I see it. Thank you. Moving things around for me.
Yesterday's shooting, now identified as 20-year-old Sarah Beckstrom and 24-year-old Andrew Wolf, both uniformed members of the West Virginia National Guard.
These two young service members who are willing to go above and beyond and pay whatever price our nation asks of them.
The FBI is investigating the shooting as a possible act of terrorism. Officials saying the suspect, Rahmanullah Lakanwal, drove cross-country and deliberately targeted the two guardsmen as they stood outside a busy Washington, D.C. metro station.
One guardsman is struck, goes down, and then the shooter leans over and strikes.
Hey, Janine Perro, for as old as she is, she's looking pretty good, huh?
The guardsman again. Another guardsman is struck several times.
Yeah.
Lakanwal is an Afghan national who came to the United States in 2021 and lives in Bellingham, Washington. He's facing
Simon, thank you for coming.
While armed. FBI Director Kash Patel saying search warrants were carried out overnight at the suspect's home in Washington state.
During that process, we seized numerous electronic devices to include cell phones, laptops, iPads, and other material that is being analyzed as we speak.
Officials say Lakanwal worked for the U.S. government in Afghanistan.
Shane says he hates broccoli and loves green. I'm imagining green beans. What is wrong with broccoli, sir? Have you ever had broccoli raw, by the way? More vitamin C, more antioxidant power. I kind of like the taste a little bit better. Not such a thick stem, no pun intended.
For a decade, including the CIA, working as a member of a partner force there. Sources telling ABC News he was a trusted member of his unit. Lakanwal's 2021 entry into the U.S. was likely part of a Biden administration.
Hey, Ryan, I'm not a homie. I would be a homette. I guess a homiette or something like that. I don't know. I think I'll pass for the moment. But you can always come and email me or hit me up. How about that?
Program that evacuated and resettled tens of thousands of Afghans. Lakanwal applied for asylum in 2024 and was granted it in April 2025 under the Trump administration, according to 3 law enforcement sources.
Any Afghan that worked with the U.S. military or CIA that comes to the United States.
Shane says, you know, she founded the first DV or special victims unit, rape, etc., like Law and Order. I did not know that. Wait, isn't she also, she wasn't one of the people also who started doing like the stalking laws or something like that, was she? I don't remember. Thanks for having my German Irish ass. We love all you krauts, honey.
States is heavily vetted to get their special immigrant visa status, and of course to come to the United States.
President Trump has now ordered a re-examination of all Afghan immigrants who were admitted here into the United States during the Biden administration. Karen Travers, ABC News, Washington.
And we've been streaming all the
McCrowds
updates on the National Guard shooting on 13 News Now Plus. Download on your TV to watch for free.
Oh my goodness. Now I had an extra thing on this, but it's gone. I don't know where it went. But I want to show you something. Let's take a few seconds and check out this kid who got arrested for tax evasion. And then we'll move on and we'll start talking some shit about the red pill. How about that for fun? A little smack talking about local online occult groups, which if you would love to see, me and my friend came out with this great series about online occult spaces. You should check it out last year. Let's get this one queued up because I don't know where that other browser went.
Without at this point telling you why, I still have zero clue. I'm very cooperative, I'm looking at my guys like, is something going on here? And obviously they have no clue what's going on either. So these cops have walked down my whole driveway. My gate was shut, so they couldn't get in. They walked all the way down. And after like 2 minutes of us asking why, and one of them tightening the handcuffs until they wouldn't go anymore.
No, honey, I am taking notice. I'm making comments. And in my opinion, it is a terrorist attack and it should be dealt with as such. And 20 years ago, it would have been dealt with as such, just to be named a few. So don't give me no crap about it. Hello, you. Nice to see you again. How much money is he making to get in trouble for tax? We're going to find out. I would imagine it's probably 50K, 100K, maybe more. But usually it's several $1 million. But let's find out what the IRS are doing right now. Which, by the way, has anybody noticed that they're talking about how Trump is completely defunding the IRS and all? Some kind of like hell is going to be breaking loose here shortly. I'm going to catch up more on that before I start making comments, though.
Evasion. What is this for?
This is for tax evasion.
And right away, I'm like, tax evasion. Because I've paid nearly $dollars to the IRS and state.
Well, you're not allowed to say how much?
Taxes.
That's kind of peculiar that he can't just say the amount. Like, what does it matter?
Look like what we do is illegal and sketchy, but I do everything within legal parameters. So we're very careful to pay our taxes. I have a great accountant that keeps track of everything. There was some word spreading around that I like don't pay my taxes. I pay a lot more than what I should probably actually. I think I'll go through this after and look at
If you pay too much, then you don't know how to work the system, honey.
What I've been paying to make sure it's not too much. Nonetheless, I'm like, okay, the handcuffs are tight enough.
Matter of fact, my advice to him is to find a retired ex-IRS agent who advises on taxes like me and my old man used to do. But, you know, that's just me.
And he keeps tightening them, like squeezing them tighter, like I'm going to run. I was very cooperative. None of us did anything disrespectful whatsoever. But we filmed it, right, because it's for our protection as well. Just as they have a body cam, this is America, people are on camera. And they're on my property as well. So they have a warrant for tax evasion. Of course, I have no clue what this is for. They won't explain why. I had not gotten a letter, a text, an email, a notice in the mail. Nobody got the slightest bit of notice what this could have been for. And I didn't even find out for several days after I was arrested. So
that's pretty weird. They normally send notices, multiple attempts at notices. Although if you move and they don't have the proper address, they will use your prior address to send it, and then they'll start taking money out of your paycheck for whatever it is that you might owe. I know somebody who that has recently happened to. They didn't receive a notice. They were sending, I guess, the notices to an older address rather than the newest one. And boy, they immediately took out $1,500 out of the first check, another $1,000 out of the second check, and then $500, and then another $500, and another $500 till it was caught up, which is very flippin' aggressive. They even called into the IRS, made a deal for $50 a month until it got caught up for like the last 1,000, and they still wiped their account out.
So yeah, we have everything on camera. I'll put
The IRS, another old-fashioned thug operation. Yes, indeed.
the video here so you guys can be caught up and see what happened. Yo, what's up?
They can garnish your bank account, but you'd have to owe a significant amount of money. This was like about $3,500, $4,000, so not as bad, but could be. Hello, Roberto. Ciao, Bella. Bello. Well, that's interesting.
Is there a reason why?
Is this a joke? No, at least you guys are agents with the state. Okay. There you go.
No.
Look how fat that cop is. Did anybody see how fat that cop was? There should be a body mass index requirement. Thank you very much. I said it. Don't get mad at me. You were thinking it too.
What's the paper? Is that the warrant? Yeah.
No. Well, he has a warrant. This is a criminal summons.
Okay.
Okay.
What's this for?
This is for tax evasion.
Oh.
Okay.
Can I see that? Who are you? CLO of the company.
Is that what this whole thing is for?
Give him his copy. If he wants to give it to this guy, that's cool. Are you cool with him setting that on your?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's what this is about.
The sheriff's department has this for the company.
That's what all the trainers call it here, honey. I don't know if you're in a different country. If you are, then that's the proper one for here.
Whistling diesel or whatever your company is called, but the estate agents have warrants for you individually.
Oh, so there's other stuff.
Yeah, it's same stuff.
He's got derpy feet too.
Oh, okay.
It's for you as an individual and the LLC.
Okay, the cuffs are tightened up. Are you unlocking those or tightening them up?
I'm putting them where they won't tighten more.
Okay.
Oh, gee, what a sweetheart, huh? No resisting arrest, no nothing, just okay. And let me just cut off your circulation.
Is this a joke? Are you guys?
I think no.
This is legitimate.
I just paid like $1 to IRS. So.
This is state, not federal.
Oh, just state.
State, yeah.
This is county, and it's from Williams County. That's what we're serving.
I totally agree with you. He said, Australia is common here too, but it is flawed because the muscular people classify it as also obese. Well, we're looking at this gentleman with hanging over his belt and everything else. I guarantee you he couldn't run after anything.
State, they're serving something completely different. We're just
wait, what's the completely different one?
No, it's the same
Or
thing.
they're both tax evasion.
Yeah, it's tax evasion. It's for you personally and for the company.
Okay.
The Department of Revenue.
Not federal.
No, state. It's all state. But then it's
Yeah, I agree with you. Love how they treat you like a hardened, armed criminal. Yeah, they sure do. They like to make an example because they're so tough and all.
the Department of Revenue got indicted.
Yeah, we like to write tickets and we like to do this type of shit, but we don't go out there and fight real crime, save the women and the children and get those criminals. Oh, hell no, they're sitting on their ass, going through the drive-thru, doing just this type of shit.
It's against you as an individual and the LLC.
Not sure what this is for, but they say it's tax evasion. I just paid like $1 to IRS in the last 2 years, so we've made regular payments. So I'm not sure what this is about, so we'll see what it's for.
Mr. Detweiler, what this is?
Well, honey, I'll just give you, this should just answer your question in general. I'm related to founding fathers, okay? My stance is a constitutionalist, period. That's my stance.
It's state, not federal. Okay. So it has nothing to do with the IRS.
Correct.
That was set by the judge at $20,000. Okay?
Have they tried contacting?
$20,000.
They contacted us.
What is this, like a
come out here and assist them with serving the warrant.
100,000 plus?
20 grand.
No, the bond is 20 grand.
Oh, I see.
I don't know what the amount is.
You don't know what the amount is.
How quick the jail can get you processed. Okay, where's he going?
Oh, okay. That guy's fat too. You see that dude?
It's 408
He's definitely pushing 275 to 3 bills. Mm-mm.
Get our steps in for the day.
All right, this is my first actual arrest, I guess.
Should be like the military. If you can't do your push-ups, your sit-ups, you can't run, your body fat content is out of control, well, then you should be either suspended and I'm being a bad girl, huh? Am I saying too much? Well, I'm kind of a pain in the ass, so there we go.
We walk all the way back up my driveway. I was like, I'll give you guys the gate code and you can bring your cars down and pick me up. We can make this so convenient for everybody.
I'll give you all the gate code if you want to just drive in next time, though. I mean, is this why the helicopter was over our place?
Do you say your name is Dane, honey? Okay, U.S. Constitution seems to be a guide at best these days. I will agree with that because they do not enforce the laws and they create sub-laws to bypass our original laws, so they have lots of fun little loopholes, so they don't have to do anything. Hence, like our terror attacks, right? We get our terror attacks, but we can't call it that. Oh, we shouldn't call it just that, and we certainly shouldn't prosecute to the full extent of the law. Oh, of course not. Shane, Star's fat phobic phobia confirmed. Yeah, yeah, a little bit. Muy poquito.
Attorneys and stuff like squared away. I don't know. This is really unexpected.
Yes, let's guide them up that long walkway.
So, yeah, all taxes are paid in full.
Kind of makes me,
I make
oops,
monthly payments from.
kind of makes me wonder why they didn't drive the car to get him. You know, the police car, and then drive the police car. This is a show.
My accountant, like, probably $1 a year for taxes. So
I agree with you.
unless those haven't
I've been pregnant.
but,
Close enough.
Very interesting. I have no clue what it's for. So I guess I'm going to jail.
Guess so, kid. Enjoy it. Brag about it later. You're a hardened criminal. I'm being facetious.
Joe Tyler.
Yeah. See you, man.
I started this one.
Theater mode. Oh, good grief.
Hi, Cody. He didn't always say you wanted to go to jail. He literally said that like 2 weeks ago. What?
Lucky you.
Being very cooperative and chill. And I know some people at the sheriff's office, like, we're friends. I let them hunt on my property. So I was quite taken aback that no one was talking to us or communicating to us. I'm a very, in real life, I'm a very chill person. Like, I'll joke around and have fun. I was being very.
Yeah, the first thing Shane brought up a point. He shouldn't be talking. Miranda writes. Yes, he should also be saying, "I'm going to call my attorney. Thank you very much. Plead the fifth."
Respectful. I'm like in my Christmas sweater. I'm just chilling, and all the guys are like so confused. Like, they think I've done something terrible. They're like, "What did Cody do?" And I'm like, "What did I do? I had no clue what I did."
I've had my share also.
I was like, "Are they pinning me for like a murder?" I was like actually worried it was something like crazy.
Why would you think
tax evasion? I'm like,
why would you think murder, sir? That's a peculiar thing to think. I mean, especially if you didn't do anything, right?
okay. They sent me an unmarked car. They say, hey, the bail is 20 grand. There was a lot of word spreading around that it was 2 million. They left out the comma in the period.
Yeah.
How fast
it sure will.
Can spread something false. I thought it was funny though.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking so. A little peculiar. At least maybe he thinks about it. I don't know.
They must have thought I was gonna fight back, considering they saw the tank and the killdozer when they were walking in. They were probably quite concerned, actually. I'm being booked into jail. Some of them are fans there. They're like laughing, like, what is he doing in here? And they're like, I heard like, oh, I've never seen that one before. Tax evasion. I fill out some paperwork saying I'm not suicidal and all this. I go into a jail.
Well, he says, how do you say your name, honey? Souris, RLP. From what I've read, until they reach your 5A, nothing should count against you until that point. Well, you would think so, but you know, you got to remember that the Justice Department and the police are not really your friend, okay? So don't be trusting nothing and don't be talking. Keep your mouth shut, do your own time, call your attorneys. And that's me giving you some advice.
There's a guy next door banging.
Or anyone advice at that matter.
Bloody murder and like clawing his way out. I'm like, am I going to be in there with that guy? Because I will fight him if I have to. And they put me in my own cell. So that was nice. They put me in my own jail cell. And I was expecting. I know
oh, sir. Okay, Sir Shah. Oh, was that like French?
To save some money because I have some other expenses. Not
don't omit shit.
Maybe Bugatti.
Me and self-made, we understand the principle. Don't omit shit. That's straight facts. Dane is asking, are you of the mind that Afghanistan was 100% at fault, or is it Biden, or it's a combination of the factor? It's a combination of the factor. He's definitely at fault, but Biden also is in fault for letting them in, period.
And
they start the problem, and then they want to run in and then say that they're fixing the problem too, right? Start the problem, fix the problem, start the problem. You know, it's this constant balance between setting up the scenario, allowing the scenario to play out, and then coming in as the hero and saying, we're going to save everybody. We've got the solution, when they've got it manufactured the whole time.
The space I'm moving into is actually smaller than what the jail cell was. And I was like, this has a bathroom, the floors are clean. I took off my orange.
No, you're fine. I understood what you meant.
I was weightlifting in my jail cell, and I was in there for maybe 2 hours. My friends got
Oh, it's Irish.
My team, they helped me very quickly.
Are okay.
Within 3 hours, I was out of jail.
Sure. So are you in Ireland, honey? Where are you? Tell us.
We need $22,000 right now.
Where's that bag of cash?
Nick, do you have any cash on you?
I got like $6.
Jay, how much cash do you have on you?
I got an empty.
Oh, come on.
I got 25.
Your corporation's probably got at least 22K.
We don't have any money to bail Cody.
Oh, Georgia.
Like 5 months.
I like Georgia. I've always wanted to visit Georgia, and I will soon, hopefully, someday, very soon. It's on my bucket list.
Here.
You've reached the offices of Saul Goodman and Associates. Your one-stop shop for Better Call Saul.
All right, so we're here to bail Cody out, and we came prepared.
You're a smart man. We need more of you around.
Yeah, I need to bail my buddy out of jail.
Shane says, don't forget to like and to subscribe.
Cody Detweiler.
He's probably not even to jail yet.
Yeah, they got to book him and everything.
Yeah, we're gonna take our sweet time and get lunch, have a couple of drinks, celebrate this, and then be back. Thank you. $3 bond. Insane.
Ray Charles, the old song, Georgia on My Mind. I can't even remember how the chorus goes right now with this blues in the background going. I'd sing you a line or two, but I can't think of it right now.
That was brutal.
Brutal. I sat there in a holding
I know
cell.
what that was about. I still don't know. I have zero clue why I came here. After the first couple days, like it got like really hard for me.
Bond is an amount of money promising that you will go to your court date. If you don't, they keep the money. So the $20,000 is used for that. And of course, we're like, all right, I'm not going to stay in jail for 3 months or 6 or however long this is. The next court date is in January. So I get out of jail, and I was like, I'm not going to post it yet because I don't know all the details yet. I didn't know what.
Is that a rocket launcher behind him? What is that? Is that like a little, one of those mini rocket launchers? What is that thing?
Why? And I was like, I just want to see when people find out. Within 3 hours, it was everywhere. The whole world knew. So you may be wondering what all this is for, why 5 cops showed at my door and arrested me after having a clean record. This is for sales tax on one car, my Ferrari. That doesn't.
I actually want to visit where Southern Charm is filmed. That's where I actually really want. Savannah. I want to go check out Savannah.
Exist anymore. It's in a cube because it accidentally caught on fire. Not even in Tennessee. It caught on fire in Texas. That's what this is.
Oh, thank you.
Not a letter, not a notice, not anything saying, hey, you owe the sales tax on this car. Nothing. This is the Montana title, clean title, to my $400,000 Ferrari F8, which sales tax in Tennessee would be roughly $30,000 or something like that. And so this car.
Wait, what did he say it was for? How much?
Titled and not even in Tennessee. It caught on fire in Texas. That's what
okay.
Not a letter, not a notice, not anything saying, hey, you owe the sales tax on this car. Nothing. This is the Montana title, clean title, to my $400,000 Ferrari F8.
Oh.
Sales tax in Tennessee would be roughly $30,000 or something like that. And so this car, this Ferrari.
Okay, so that state wanted their cut out of it. That's still kind of low as far as I'm concerned. So, you know, they've talked about reopening debtors' prisons over here. Could you imagine that? Like our jail cells are already overflowing and we're going to start doing that too? I don't think so. Kiss my ass.
Was titled and registered in Montana. I should remind you, 85% of luxury car owners have a business in Montana. There is an option to have a business in Montana that holds your assets, that is not you, it holds your assets in Montana, where you can run business out of, that just so happens to not require sales tax on specifically vehicles or luxury items, especially many luxury car owners have businesses in Montana. Currently, we are
The best mod on YouTube land, Uncle Guns. Thanksgiving with leftovers and stuck at the loser's table.
asking the state, what is the qualification for the amount of time that that vehicle would be in or operated out of Tennessee? Considering the car burned down in Texas and it was traveling in other states while I owned it. Considering the amount of manpower they sent, the car doesn't exist anymore, the amount of money it's over, and the fact that there's pedophiles on the streets, the fact that there's people out there killing people.
Didn't I just say that? Didn't I just say that? I started off by saying, yes, let's harass all the citizens for stupid shit like this. But of course, we don't want to go out and actually do our real job and get all of those child traffickers and all the grapers and, you know, all of the other stuff that's going on, right? The gangs and all that shit. But let's do this instead and write tickets. We got to make that quota.
It's quite alarming considering this country is in a desperate position to take care of important matters.
Sweet dreams to you, honey. Also, sing you a lullaby to the land down under. Bye.
Sorry, I'm gonna try to stay chill. It's actually angering. Like, I'm not mad that this is happening to me. I'm a YouTuber. I'm the best person this could have happened to, frankly, because this would affect a lot of other people. I've been in this position before where a much bigger government entity was coming after me, and I stood my ground. I don't put up with this because, frankly, I know a lot of people that could be in the same position I am in right now.
And he has the capital in order to have proper representation, unlike the rest of us too, right?
They might not stand up as well to it. Not to mention the fact that I'm trying to start a family. I have a girlfriend who's Russian, actually. I moved her to Dubai. And as much as everybody likes to think that it's not real love or whatever the narrative is of other people, I'm trying to start a family, and I love my girlfriend, my fiance, actually. And something on my record, like this situation, could perhaps affect my ability to start a family in the country that I was born and raised and obeyed all the laws in, and worked hard and made a lot of money for and supported. So this is a big deal.
Wait, it means he might not be able to get her over here, I would imagine, in order to start said family. Correct? I'm thinking that's what he really means.
And I've heard of this happening before in different ways. A state would say, hey, we don't like this. How much is your car in this state? And if it's in here a certain amount of time, you're going to need to pay the sales tax.
I'm hearing this a lot, Uncle Guns. He says, once again, I didn't get a notification, so everyone in chat, make sure they're still subbed and notifications are set to all. Yes, please do so. I might also be slightly shadow banned because I'm kind of opinionated.
And tax also, there's an interesting thing. If you're late on your federal or your state taxes, they send you something saying, hey, you owe this. I never got a letter, zero notice that. And
Trippy says his girlfriend constantly asks him in his videos if he'll buy a BMW or a Lambo and stuff. He met her on Instagram. And then Shane says, moving her to Dubai, ominous music, yes.
Anything like this was going on. There's so many layers to this and aspects to dissect. But of course, I want to do everything fairly. That's why I pay my federal and state tax. I've never been behind. I pay. So like getting a letter saying I owe $30,000 is quite possibly the simplest, fastest thing that could have happened. And frankly, if they're gonna do it to me, if they want to play this game with me, there's several million other people they're gonna have to play it with. America's a great country.
Yes, but he didn't watch 90 Day Fiancé, Shane. He says gold digger. Probably, more than likely, but to him, it's real love. He can find out the hard way, just like everybody else on 90 Day Fiancé. Honey, I suggest you go watch it too. Might be an eye-opener.
I love it. I love America so much. But America's ran by the people. And as with all things, I think there's a delicate line to balance between the government and the people and what's
I hate that. What if I lived in MT for 2 at the time I bought the car and then I moved to Washington? Do I have to pay sales tax in Washington for the car I bought while in MT? Well, you wouldn't think so, but this does leave a question, doesn't it? After going over all of the borders. According to this guy and what's going on with him, I would say that's a problem, isn't it? But you aren't receiving the cash, you're spending the cash. It would be the issue from them.
fair. Obviously, we want roads to drive on. We want nice public amenities, maybe a park or so. We want a police force. We want good police. You can't defund the police. The police need to be able to defend us. We need a good military. I'm not against paying.
Shane says you should cover Aka's side's horrible life. Well, you know, passport bros, they think it's greener on the other side. They can find out the hard way.
Taxes, to be frank. I think the whole taxation is theft. Yeah, it's true up to an extent, but some tax is required to operate the country, right? It can't be privately funded.
Is that what it is? Is that what it is? Okay, well, I might take it off for the next time. I didn't know it was going to create an issue, but it isn't the first time, Uncle Guns, that I've heard that they're not receiving notifications.
The billionaire would run out of money really quickly.
I'll fix it the next time.
I think they are. I don't think they would go to that length to try to but maybe. I wouldn't put it past them because they've shredded enthusiasts of Ferraris, replica cars. Someone loves Ferrari, so they build a replica, and Ferrari made a whole point to shred it because they didn't want anyone having a car like them. I don't know. I wouldn't put it past them. I'm dying to know who decided that this was worth the time and resources instead of just sending me a letter. I will work with anyone to resolve something in an amicable way. Frankly, it's not worth anybody's time. It's not worth my time. It is. I'm gonna make money on this. I mean, it's not worth frankly the taxes that they're wanting for this. The $30,000 that they want for the sales tax on this car is probably not even gonna come close to covering the money they're spending on me for this, which leads me to
They don't care. They want to spend the tax dollars and then they want to get your money. They don't care.
think that there's another angle, which
That will require common sense and a business-like approach how a country should be ran. But again, of course, it's not, right?
I'll get into.
Helter-skelter all over the
They went after
place.
me specifically because they think it will make a wave through the car community because I'm a social media influencer in the automotive industry.
Okay, I will make sure it doesn't do it for the next time. Because it might screw this whole thing up if I change it now.
Change their Montana registration to their home state. They're going to go back to Tennessee and they're going to go be like, oh, well, let's pay all of our sales tax because I'm going to register my car in Tennessee because I don't want to be arrested because I have a wife and kids at home and I could go to prison. I don't want to go to prison. Of course I'm going to do that, right? That's why they went after me. I think because they want to make a wave and they want everybody else because they know that there will be videos. They know that this is going to make it to the news, and that
And send the fattest, most sit on their ass, donut eating fast food, go through cops to do it too.
everybody's going to cover this. And why would it not scare people into re-registering their vehicles and paying all that sales tax? Crazy thing, this is your own government doing this to you soon. So I think that one very slight oversight that they ignored is that I won't put up with that. That's not how this.
Goodness, it almost seems as though the governments want to terrorize its own people, huh?
Is going to go. I'm actually in the middle of purchasing property in Montana right now. So I'm actually buying land in Montana, and that is where my business will now be set up. If they didn't stop with me, they won't stop with you. They will come to your door and they will arrest you. And who knows the limit that this could go to, considering this is over one single car that doesn't exist anymore. Imagine what they'll do to you with maybe many cars who still exist. That being said, at the moment, I cannot recommend enough. If you are in Tennessee, buy property in Montana. It's a great place to settle down. Buy property in Montana, operate your business.
I'm wondering how the hell did they knew so quick. I wonder who reported it.
Out of there. And I will let everybody know as soon as I get updates. I'm going to let everybody know what they say is the minimum requirement that you can have your vehicles in Tennessee if they're registered in Montana. In other words, this is a tractor for all they're concerned. That being said, I cannot recommend Montana enough. I think this is a lovely place to go. I mean, I drove through there. I'm buying land there.
I have a family member in Montana. It is so cold out there. It is so cold out there. Like, I would rather be in the cold than hot, but I don't know about negative. What does it get out there? Like -10 or something? Our friend says, I'll tell that to all Australians, Canadians, and Britons that all the time, that it's the same stuff over here. I remind myself all the time when I start looking at moving to Argentina. So you're going to Argentina. Okay. I wish you luck over there. And let's see what he also says. At what point do we admit we are dealing with state terror or ism?
I have some very good lawyers that are working on this. I want to smile for everyone who actually reached out. Like
I agree with you. It probably is one of his viewers. That's what I was actually thinking.
My friends that I haven't even talked to in a long time who are reaching out like, hey, can we do anything for you? I genuinely appreciate that so much. Like you find out who your friends are, and I realize that. If people want to hate me for other stuff, go for it and give me a hard time. But this affects you if they went after me.
Okay, he also lives in the very cold. He says that's shorts weather. Well, shorts and flip-flops. I dare you. -10. Shorts and flip-flops. Take pictures. I want evidence. Oops.
Me without sending a notice for that. There's no telling what they'll do. So I wanted to announce my website is back up. I haven't sold merch in a long time. So I'm bringing back merch. I'm bringing back just quality clothes. I'm selling hoodies and shirts with my indictment charge to pay for my legal fees, because this could get pretty expensive. And just for you guys, because I love you all, there is no sales tax charge. There's a 10% deduction on the product. So I'm going to cover that. I'll make less money on it. But yeah, no sales tax on these. So sales tax won't benefit them too much if the prices are too cheap to tax. So legally, I'm not going to really discuss where we're going, strategy wise with this, but there's no telling how long it could go. I had another case that went on for 1.5 years last time for splashing with a jet ski. The next court.
Oh yeah. So he's got viewers reporting him. That's unfortunate.
I just want to tell them, I'm sure they're watching this, the people that
back in the day they used to say snitches get stitches.
The research.
Snitches get stitches. Does anybody remember that?
Yeah.
Everybody's a fucking narc these days, huh?
To pick your battles wisely. I treat everyone with respect. The American people are the ones in charge here. So yeah, I mean, they could have sent me a letter. No problem with paying the sales tax, guys. I mean, if you can find a legal way, that's the thing. Nobody wants.
Ugh, -30 in Montana. Hell's to the no. We turn into a human ice cube.
Wants to pay taxes. And I feel like if there is an amount of taxes that is fair to pay, I think this is a matter of making it very clear what is to be done in certain situations. If money is owed, you make it clear. You don't confuse the American public. You don't pick and pry for the slightest little outlier. You need to make it very clear in the code what can and cannot be done before you get tied up in endless legal problems and waste the Americans' time.
Honey, that's not how it works. They've always been notorious for making your life absolutely fucking miserable. And the worst part is once they get their nose in there, they'll go through everything. They'll go back over 20 years, even when the statutes should have expired. They'll still do that. In California right now, if you're leaving the state, they're making the law so that way you can get taxed on your way out as a penalty for leaving. And my uncle and his bitch of a wife at the time, they got hit for over 25 years of back taxes for something because they changed the code. Now that shit should be illegal, but of course it's not. They can do whatever the fuck they want. They are the law, right?
I have been promising, of course, a Bugatti durability test. I know everybody wants to see that. And this has made me slightly question the methods that I would go about durability testing cars, considering that's my business.
Is that better, Uncle Guns? Was it too low? Nobody brought this to my attention. I am sorry.
I do a Bugatti durability test, and that car is $3 million. I'm paying
P-Fletch! Salute!
$400,000 in sales tax. A whole Ferrari of sales tax. That's not affordable. I can't afford that. I can barely afford the Bugatti. That's why I'm doing it. This is the pinnacle. It's a really cool thing to do. But I can't afford the sales tax on the Bugatti.
He doesn't know how to. He needs a new bookkeeper. Straight up, he needs a new bookkeeper.
Bugatti. So I'm happy to announce we are finding new ways to do this that will be much more affordable, that will not allow the state of Tennessee.
I did not see that. I am sorry.
or other states to get the sales tax from it. This is not tax evasion. It's simply just not going to be my car. So it'll be something that the tax has already been paid on. I have to do things that way.
All right, or I'm done hearing him whine and complain about not knowing how to do his taxes and then getting squeezed because he's, you know, the other issue is he's doing international stuff. So that's probably another one of those red flags. Here's a video that just caught my attention. Just for shits and giggles, let's watch this one. Here we go.
For those who go,
what is the Brazilian butt lift smell? And is it real? Okay, just for fun, we're gonna watch this one.
Under the knife for a Brazilian butt lift, also known as a BBL. The goal is a bigger butt, rounder hips, all of that. But there are some downsides that can come with the procedure.
He wished, Uncle Guns. That's more my thing, honey. Hey, you. I haven't seen you in a long time.
And that's the smell. A woman went on social media and she went viral. She says that she had her BBL removed, but before she did, she said that her sit-down air stunk so bad. Take a listen.
To the point to where I had to carry around a bottle of air freshener or a bottle.
Chick, wash your fucking ass. Straight up, just wash your ass. You won't have that problem. If it's so big you can't get your hand back there and wash it, that's the universe telling you to size down, okay?
Bottle of perfume, because when I would use public restrooms, it would stink so bad and the smell would linger.
Happy Gobble Day to you too. We love you. Make sure you come back. Remember that you liked and subscribe, and tell our other buddy over there in Passport Bro Land. Tell him I said hello.
It was like an embarrassment. I didn't want to come out the bathroom.
Where's QB? Is he still streaming? I don't even know.
With it smelling like that, and someone else was waiting at the door.
Okay, check. I will check.
When I say that BBL really ruined my life, I even lost my boyfriend behind it. He was telling me the whole time, like, you're stinking real bad down there, and I can't stomach it.
Now,
okay, that's funny. I'm sorry, that's funny.
Is this even a real thing? My next guest, Dr. Anthony Yoon, he's going to explain this a little bit for us. Dr. Yoon, welcome to Fox 2.
Dr. Yoon has a YouTube page if you would like to follow him. He's also a plastic surgeon, believe it or not. He's a pretty good one. So if you want to know more about BBLs and all the kinds of things, go check him out.
Detroit Live.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. So, I mean, have you heard of something like this happening, the smelly BBLs? It's all over social media.
Yeah, mostly just on social media. That's the funny thing. So this is a story that has been kind of recirculating probably over the last year or so. And there's this belief that people who have a BBL surgery, and BBL essentially is taking fat, liposuctioning it from your hips, from your thighs, and then purifying that fat and then injecting it into the buttocks. And there are a number of videos that came out maybe about a year ago where typically men were saying that they would be at the club, they would be surrounded by baddies, and that there was a certain smell that would emanate from the ones that had had BBL surgeries. And so there are all these ideas about why that could be happening that they would start bringing up. Some would say that it's
my buddy QB stopped streaming. Are you serious? Is he still engaged to that girl? Okay, I'm gonna have to message him and see if he's okay and what's going on. I did not know that QB stopped doing that, because I would really like to get a clip of that video of me dancing around. That's another reason, but I need to know what QB is doing. Let's see. He says, Uncle Guns in Brazil, they have natural. Well, honey, I got a big ass too. I don't need a Brazilian. So there we go.
Secretions from the fat that would be leaking out. Other people would say that it's due to the inability to properly wash yourself. And there are all these other ideas.
See, properly wash yourself. I don't understand what is going on with these broads and they're not washing their ass. This is the weirdest thing in the world to me. I am so OCD that I take either a shower or bath twice a day. I usually alternate. Shower in the morning, bath at night. Shower in the morning, bath at night. Because you know why? I like a clean ass sliding between them sheets, okay? I like being clean. Thank you.
Yes, too. And then this story came out of this woman fairly recently where she said that she had the BBL smell, that it's real, and that it even actually ruined her her relationship.
Yeah, I mean, it's really a whole thing. There's so many people on TikTok saying this. People who have had these Brazilian butt lifts, BBLs, they're coming out and they're saying, "Hey, I stank. Like I don't smell the best." And people who have been around them have said that as well.
See,
I mean,
you know
could
what's
it be
up.
an infection? Could it be just not proper hygiene is not there? Or
I like my men clean. Got to be clean, gentlemen. If you're not, you're going to get the ruler right upside your ass. I'm telling you right now.
I mean, what is it?
So there are a couple of potential causes to it. The first thing is, yes, it could be basically just not having good hygiene. You know, when you have a BBL surgery, essentially your buttocks are much bigger afterwards. And could it be harder to wash back there? I would think yes. Now, that can't be always the excuse, I guess, or the reason. But the first thing that I would think of is hygiene.
Is that why they get those extra long, disgusting Freddy Krueger claws for fingernails? I mean, so that way they can wash back there. I'm still going to say no, because their hands don't even look clean either.
And that does upset some people when they hear that could be the reason why they have a smell back there. The other reason why, though, and this is going to be not that common, but it's definitely possible, is infection. You know, you are injecting fat into the body. Typically, that fat should not get infected, but the fact could, and if it does, infections smell, and they can smell really bad. But this is something that should be very, very rare, because it isn't common to get an infection of your BBL. And so if it happens, you're
No, but people have passed away from getting BBLs because it's too close to the arteries going down in those areas, and then it pierces into those arteries and shoots to the heart. But yeah, you know, what do I know? So gross, Star. Amanda says, so gross, Star. I imagine how dirty under those nails are. I know, right? I cannot stand dirty hands or fingernails. I'm really extra weird about dirty feet. And you know, when I met my biological mother, I found out she's exactly the same way. So all those other broads walking around with no shoes on, they got them dirty ass feet. Ugh, I can't stand it.
You're going to have a lot of pain from it. You're going to have most likely drainage, redness. This isn't something that typically persists for months while you're feeling fine.
Yeah. I mean, some people online are saying that it smells like broccoli. It smells like dumpster juice.
Cooked broccoli? Not fresh broccoli. It's got to be cooked, right? Let's see. He says, I'm big on, where is Mulano? I'm big on hygiene. Good hygiene brings confidence in yourself. That's right. It sure does. And so does having proper manners, gentlemen. Good manners will take you a long way in this world.
And I know that there's something called a lymphatic massage or something that, you know, works it around. Like, what is that? What's that whole process like?
Well, so it's normal to get some drainage from your incisions after you have a BBL, after you have liposuction. You know, I do a lot of liposuction surgery, and I tell patients, you're going to get drainage for a couple of days sometimes afterwards. And then the patients afterwards will wear a garment. Some people call it a faja. And there's a belief that maybe
it's a compression garment, which helps bring down the swelling and helps with circulation. No, I've not had any plastic surgery. I would like to get some plastic surgery, just a little bit, because Mama thinks she needs it now. But, you know, maybe in the future.
Maybe if you're not washing your faja regularly, that maybe that could cause a smell. But those are some of the reasons why that it can happen. But once again, I don't think that this is a fault of the surgery necessarily. The surgery itself has its own detractors. There are issues with the operation anyway. But I think that the BBL smell itself is more of a personal individual.
Yeah, I agree with the doctor. It's personal hygiene issue, because these bitches don't know how to wash their ass these days, I guess. Their mama didn't teach them nothing, I guess. Let's see. He says, we have a rule at my job about fingernail length. That rule is very violated. Mine are all short right now because when you take a lot of antibiotics, it makes your nails crumble. Otherwise, I'd have nice nails right now. Natural, thank you. And let's see. Good manners from P. Fletch. She said, oops, it's moving. Is often mistaken for weakness these days. You are absolutely correct. Politeness is also mistaken for weakness, which don't do that with me. I'll clock you a good one. Uncle Guns says, couldn't take Nova in the woods camping. Got it. Haha. You're right, Uncle Guns. I've never been camping, not because I didn't want to, just because I grew up with old people. They weren't down with that. And then I went to work, and you know, it was all over from there. Would I do it today? Can I camp with like a little camper? It's got a toilet and a little shower. Could I do that? Yes, I would totally go in the woods, and I'm bringing my firearm. Thank you. Whereas Milano says, I ended up running out of cologne because I shower before work and when I come home from work, but after a shower, I need that cologne for that finishing touch. I like that. That is good. The ladies enjoy that. Keep up the good work. Let's finish this, doctor, and we'll read some more.
Individual thing. You know, if you don't have good hygiene, whether you have a BBL or not, you can smell back there.
You know, I just think it's so funny how something on social media just exists and people run with it. Smelly BBL. Like, never did I think that we would be saying that, like those two words together. But I do want to take the time. I mean, what's improper care versus proper care? How should we be caring for ourselves if, you know, we do have this procedure?
Yeah, so a procedure like
that chick had a lip job and a nose job. Did you see that fat girl with the lip job and the nose job and the fake eyelashes and shit? Where's she getting the money for that? Oh, this is Fox 2 Detroit. Well, I'll subscribe to you. We, you know, I've been to Detroit a couple times. Kind of scary over there. That's where the plane lands, though. Got to touch in, hurry up, get in the car, drive out as fast as you can.
Like this essentially is going to take several hours. You're going to be usually under a general anesthetic, so you're completely asleep. So when you wake up from the operation, most likely you're going to have that faja. You're going to have that tight garment on. There's going to be some gauze pads underneath. You are probably going to drain for a couple of days. That is actually normal. Most surgeons will have you shower within a few days after surgery. At that time, while you're showering, you should be able to wash your garment, so the garment's not going to create that smell, basically.
No,
and then you want
toasted, no dirt. Thank you. Dirt, I send you to the shower. Let's see. P. Fledge says, school of thought, good lass. Always keep a rifle or a handgun on hand, even more so in the woods. I do. I also walk around with a knife, but I'm usually always packing. So criminals beware.
Follow your doctor's instructions. Sometimes physicians will have you start doing some lymphatic massages, but
no, I do not. I used to date someone out there, so I would fly in.
Because you want to heal first. Otherwise, it's going to
look at them fat girls with their nose job, their lip job. What are they like OF broads or something? Look at this girl. She's got like a little fat pouch thing going right there, but she's got a BBL over here. Honey, take care of the front to go with the back. It's an observation. Ooh, and she's also had fat sucked out of here, and she looks like she's got a tit job too. She still looks like a dude.
Be quite uncomfortable. If your doctor gives you antibiotics to take, you definitely want to take those. Take your pain pills as needed, and then make sure you walk after surgery. You want to avoid blood clots, and the best way to do that is to walk.
Now, Dr. Yoon, you specialize in something called holistic plastic surgery.
Holistic?
So holistic plastic surgery is a concept where you take all the different ways to turn back the clock naturally. So the food that you eat, nutritional supplements, skincare, non-invasive treatments, and you ideally focus on those first using actual plastic surgery as a last resort. And that's how I practice plastic surgery. You know, the first thing I always think about when somebody wants surgery with me is there some way we can get them the result they're looking for without going under the knife? Because
yes, there is. It's called biostimulators. Would you like to look it up? It's called biostimulators. You know what? I should do a stream on aesthetics one of these days. We'll do the men's stream first. Now that I'm getting better, I'll let Maxer know. We'll do that first, and then we will do stuff on aesthetics because I know a thing or two about aesthetics because I want to be able to afford shit for later. That's right. I have no shame. I will tell you, I want something done.
The fact is if you have major surgery, no matter whether it's a breast implants or a tummy tuck or a facelift or a combination of those, there is a risk that you can die from the operation.
Yeah.
And even if you're in the best of health, just things happen. And so if we can get somebody looking and feeling their best and being happy with their appearance, yet avoiding going under the knife, then that's the ideal situation.
So what's the solution if someone comes to you and they're like, hey, I want a BBL? What's the holistic?
First of all, you better find a good board of cosmetic surgeons who are specialized in just that because, you know, buyer beware, you could get very hurt, very disfigured, and very permadead, okay? Permadeath doing this type of stuff. So you want to look for somebody who's always a specialist in those areas. You do not want a surgeon, especially a plastic surgeon, who dabbles in many, 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 many areas. That's the number one mistake they all make. Number two, one is starting to wonder if Kim Kardashian has this problem as well.
Approach to that.
Well, there are certain things that you can do that can help enlarge the buttocks. Some of these people are going to kind of roll their eyes at, like doing a lot of squats. So, you know, obviously
I can attest to that.
there are the natural ways to do it. There are other things that you can do as well that can help to enlarge the buttocks. There are devices now that basically stimulate the muscles to contract 20,000 times over a half-hour session. And these electrical muscle stimulating devices typically are in doctors' offices.
Kim had her BBL removed. I've seen her. She has not had the whole thing removed. Maybe she had a reduction. She also lost, like, I don't know, almost 50 pounds, 45 to 50 pounds, but it's still back there, Shane. Very, very much so. And I've seen the broad in person. Not impressed. It's so bad, especially back then when she was at her heaviest, that when she would walk or run, the thing would jiggle in opposite directions. The implant, like you could see the literal implant moving around. I don't know why she thought that shit looked good. She looked way better before. Her fat Armenian butt looked way better before she put all that extra crap in there. They didn't need any of that crap.
And they do work. Now, they're not going to give you a massive behind like a big BBL can do, but it can modestly
I saw it and it looked
size
fun
of your
to
buttocks.
click on. That's how
The
we
other thing
got there.
sometimes we'll do as plastic surgeons is that we will liposuction around the buttock area, but not the actual buttocks. Then you can actually decrease some of the fat around it, and that can make the buttocks look rounder and fuller as well. That's more of an optical illusion, but it does work.
So many options besides going under the knife, it seems.
Yeah, and that's ideally what you want to do. You know, the great thing right now in plastic surgery is there's so many options available for people who want to turn back the clock. You know, in my office, we basically have skincare, we have non-invasive treatments, we have laser treatments, we have radio frequency. There's so much in addition to the injections that we haven't even mentioned that can make huge, huge changes. And you don't have to spend thousands of dollars in.
He's correct about that. But when it comes to really loose skin, there's nothing you can do with it. Okay? There's nothing you can do with it except for to remove it and reintroduce the correct placements of the fascia underneath the skin. A lot of it has to do with the fascia and the depletion of the natural fat pads. Okay, so if you want to know why you're starting to age at an accelerating rate, is because your fat pads are going bye-bye and the fascia is going to go whoop down south. And so you need a little snatch. That's what all the celebrities are doing now, but they're doing it overseas where they have perfected the treatment and the technique. And that's been going on for well over 50 years. Where here in America, we're, you know, struggling to catch up.
Go under the knife to get those changes. Just see a board certified plastic surgeon,
Pretty
like at my
fly
office
for
or
a
other
white
offices
guy.
around, and you can get those changes hopefully without putting yourself at risk.
Yeah, you know, and I think it's so easy to say, you know, just love the skin that you're in, love your body, no matter what it looks like. But the reality of it is a huge insecurity for so many people. Even I've, you know, struggled with that at certain points. So, and this seems like a safe option, the holistic plastic surgery, Dr. Yoon.
Yeah, and that's ideally what you want to do. I have a book called Younger for Life that goes into all of that stuff. It's available wherever books are sold. I've talked to Dina about it on your network before as well. So yeah, definitely focus on ways that you can turn back the clock naturally first. Skincare is a great thing that can really make big changes. Following that up with some non-invasive treatments or things.
He says the main issue that they want to get the biggest butt possible, I think. Yeah, but why? Why? It's alien looking. It's not normal. Like, at least within some proportion. You know, like if you're completely flat in the back, I can understand wanting a little something, something. But if you've already got something back there, what are you doing? Are you trying to compete with cartoons? Like, it's, what is it? Hentai? Prawn? Is that what it is? I blame hentai.
You can even do at home. I have that all in that book.
Dr. Yoon, thank you so much for coming in and breaking down smelly BBLs for us.
Thank you so much, Bria. I hope this is helpful for people.
Yes.
Okay, boys. The moral of the story is, if some broad is walking by you and you're smelling a smell from all over all directions and you're not sure where it's coming from, look for the broad with the biggest ass and then ask yourself the question, is it her? Because it just might be. Hello. Demon of Salvation, welcome in. Welcome in. Okay, let's check out. Let's see. Campbell's executive, courtesy of Valuetainment. Shit for effing poor people. Campbell's exec busted an explosive racist recording. Well, I did say many streams ago that most of the quote unquote racism is actually a class war. So you heard it here first. Let's get this started, and then we'll start introducing something else, and then we will end the night because it's 2 a.m. And I'm sure you all have to go to work tomorrow. Isn't there work tomorrow? Well, if you don't work tomorrow, good for you. Shopping's more fun. All right, here we go.
All right, so Campbell's soup.
Patrick Bet David.
When you're in a military, or maybe you're just a regular Joe, if you go into the average person's pantry, you're probably going to find some Campbell's soup, okay? Campbell's Soup executive allegedly calls company's product shit for poor people. Did you hear that? In secret recording. And this...
I am doing well. How are you doing also? I hope you are doing well. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving.
Somehow, some way, goes viral.
Turn it up? Okay.
And it's been a hot mess.
That's
at
weird.
Campbell's Soup. Go ahead.
It's automatically turning down in between each stream. Did anybody see that? That's really weird. Thank you for telling me.
And played, Rob.
People who buys our shit. I don't buy Campbell's products barely anymore. It's not healthy. Now that I know what the in it, even in a can of soup, I look at it. Look at meat, bioengineered meat. I don't want to eat a piece of chicken that came from a 3D printer. You?
All right. So this is a recording from an executive that was secretly recorded during a meeting, according to a lawsuit.
Kai says Campbell's posted a whole rebuttal explaining how this isn't actually true on their website. Well, we also know that Campbell's lies. And, you know, I don't eat canned soup except for if I'm sick and desperate. And I opened a can the other day that I had a back stock of. And oh my God, all of the meat in there was disgusting. So I picked it all out and mostly just drank the broth and ate the little pieces of vegetables and called it a day. That crap is gross. So I can believe it's 3D printed meat. By the way, 3D printed meat is also supposed to be utilized mostly also in your fast food. Buyer beware, don't be eating that shit.
File in Michigan Wayne County Circuit Court, the suit filed by Robert Garza, former cybersecurity analyst for Campbell's Soup, accuses Martin Bally, the company's vice president and chief information security officer, of making the offensive comments during a meeting in November 24th. Garza recorded a conversation which he said took place at the company's headquarters in Camden, New Jersey. Local 4 News Detroit reports. In a recording,
bioengineered is another term for GMOs, okay? Genetically modified organisms. They've been GMOing most of your produce and whatnot, unless you go strictly organic. And also, organic is no longer safe. That term has been bought by the FDA and altered according to their preference, okay? So it has to be organic, and then you need to look for non-GMO'd among everything else. At this point, we better just start growing our own crap and slaughtering our own, you know, whatevers, because it's just getting absolutely insane. You damn near can't keep up, just about.
Obviously, we heard what he says, and that has now turned into a scandal. Garza, who began working for the soup giant in September of 2024, told Local 4 News that initially he had kept the recording private, but changed his mind and decided to report the comments to his supervisor. Tom, your thoughts on this story?
Well, look, people pop off all the time about their job, or they'll be in a conference room and pop off all the time. So one of the one cautionary tale is this: there's always someone in there recording with a phone. Just assume it is. And so that's the first thing, and set that aside. And so maybe don't pop off at work in a crowded conference room. You know, maybe speak in candor, number one. Number two, maybe tone it down a bit if you're going to pop off. So I think those are the two lessons for everybody. However, the guy, what was interesting about this is it's hard to pick up a can of Campbell's soup and turn over the back and look at the sodium. I know I'm very careful with the canned soups that my mom has. My mom's, 88.
I have really low blood pressure, so I need all that extra salt. He says, I have more than enough broth and stock to not have to use canned soup. Good, excellent. I've been moving around too much that my normal canning and fermenting schedule and growing at least a quarter to half of my own produce has been interrupted. Hopefully this year I can get back to it. Kayam said, I mean, it could be true, but what they posted seemed pretty logical as a response. Well, lots of lies sound logical. And considering I know how they're growing the stuff, and I know the type of meat and whatnot they're putting in there, there's no way that I would not believe that wasn't the case, personally, for me. Let's see. Toasted, don't worry if you're number one. It's always number one is the winner, right? The winner.
And if you look, and you look at the back, there's a lot of sodium in soup. And I'm not on on the warpath for sodium. I'm just saying, when you look at it, to preserve and to make the product that's in there, they use a lot of salt, basically.
600 milligrams.
Plus, it doesn't taste like anything if they don't. And most of it also has MSG, unless you get the non-MSG brand, okay? Joseph says, my team lost, bummer. Which team were you voting for, honey? I'm sorry to hear it.
What was the wrap?
Yeah, 600 milligrams,
Good.
just in this can of spaghetti.
And how much is 600 milligrams?
Ugh.
Just to put that in perspective.
It says
People still eat this? This has been around forever. SpaghettiOs. I don't even think SpaghettiOs taste good. Now, I remember my mom cracking that open for me 1 or 2 times, but for the love of God and all things that are holy, look at all the crap that's in there. Modified butter. Gee, is it even real butter? High fructose corn syrup. Don't eat that stuff. You know, if it's not real ingredients, don't eat it. I know it's easier said than done. At least our American perception is that way, but it really can be done. Start cooking at home, people. It'll also be a little cheaper in the long run.
25% of the ingredients.
So can you do me a favor and go to what should be the daily intake of sodium for the average person?
I think that might have been what that percentage is for. It's the daily intake recommended.
So the daily intake for sodium, they put right next to it, that's 25%.
I believe so.
25% of the daily intake of sodium you would get from this.
From one little bowl of soup to
Which
go
makes
with
sense.
to go with
23.
Yep.
American Heart Association says 1,500 milligrams per day, and which is lower than most of those 2,300 milligrams. So that 600 would be more than a third of what American Heart Association thinks you should take. Okay, Tom, keep going.
And heart disease is the #1 killer of women in America, not breast cancer. They're both terrible, but
I thought it was their horrible husbands. I'm kidding. P. Flesh says, I wonder how many more people are having liver issues due to the shit they put in the food. Well, it's not just liver. Obviously, it's going to be heart. It's going to be cardiovascular. It's going to be brain. And then you're looking at autoimmune, which I started covering in that introduction to health on my last stream, by the way.
heart disease is, and heart disease, hypertension, and sodium all go together. So one thing now, Campbell's has got this light shining on their product that they didn't want. And this guy is probably going to lose his job if he hasn't already.
Oh, who cares if he loses his job? He's got plenty of money. Uncle Gunn said it's sad that the first and biggest red flag to start this conversation is the fact that the food comes in a can. Don't eat anything that comes in a box, a bag, or a can. Yes, if you can possibly at all, avoid it. And then if you're going to, check the ingredients. There are some other brands out there that don't put all that stuff. Now, mind you, when you're buying canned goods, okay, sometimes if you're going to do like a survival little stockpile thing, you know, you're kind of a prepper, that's kind of part of it. It's part of the course. However, try to look for things that do not have a BPA lining in your cans, because that is plastic. Those things break down and is in the food that you are ingesting, which is another forever chemical that stores in your fat all over your body. Not good and not fun and not attractive looking.
That's it. But it's just shocking to see.
How do you handle that? I guess that's the more question. So, Paul, you've been in, you built a company, you've sold a company, you've worked at big companies like Microsoft, you know, you've done things. What do you think about this, and how would you handle it? What do you think should happen to somebody like this? Apparently, Rob, he got hired September of 2024, or did that guy say that he had the recording?
In my opinion, the whole fucking place should be investigated, and every single ingredient that they are using should be put out there for all of the American public to see. Like, we need to go back to how Europe is. Europe still has, you know, a farm fresh everything. They still have where you can go every day from the local farmers and get everything, and none of it is GMO'd. None of it is laced with the stuff that Monsanto uses. Can I use that word? They're not going to come get me, are they? My opinion, but it's still true. You want to go back to the basics, and also get animals that have not been doctored and messed with, pumped full of all kinds of hormones, because that cholesterol, whatever is in that animal, translates into your body. and it will show up in your cholesterol. Did you know this? Well, if you didn't, I just told you.
From September of 2024.
No, the recording took place November of 2024, so 2 months after he was hired.
Yeah.
So 2 months after he was hired, this recording happened. Please, Paul.
Well, I think you're dealing, first of all,
He doesn't want to know.
The food industry right now is already on its heels. You look at what's happening on the retail side, in the restaurant industry, which is usually the end game for a lot of this, and you look at McDonald's, which their stock is absolutely on fire right now. Why? Because we're seeing market pressures. But the biggest issue right now is around what's going on in food service in general. You've got a story here on Tyson. PR management is critical right now for Campbell's. A lot of these companies in the food service industry, in most cases, are already dealing with big problems in terms of challenges from the daily consumer. So I think this move right here is right now, it's going to be PR control.
What do you do? Let's just say we are the C-suite.
PR control. We should blow that shit out of the water. Uncle Guns, he got fired but could easily get a position at Kraft, Pepsi Cola, Procter & Gamble, KS Klein, etc. Yeah, he sure could. He has no scruples. They don't care. You got to be in with the gang in order to do it. Anyways, I blame all of this on Federal Aid Highway Act. Yeah, well, we'll touch into that one some other time, huh?
Executive team. Yeah. Say you're the COO, Tom, you're the president of the company, and we're sitting there in a meeting. This comes out, you see the video, it's live. What are we doing?
Speaking of corporate weasels, you mean like that Disney corporate weasel who got elected as mayor in New York? Yes. Did anyone know that little shithead? He's another Disney kid whose mama worked there, and they helped him produce a music video, get one of his songs out there, and now he's a mayor. Does that qualify him? Another industry plant. What did I tell you?
This guy's got to go. This guy's got to go.
So number one, are we firing this guy?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Because there was also some things that haven't been played out, that he made some comments about. He works in, information security, IT. He made some comments about his Indian coworkers. So a combination of, dude, you're not supportive of management. You're not supportive of the product. This is the wrong way to do it. And you said some things about coworkers. You haven't been here very long. I'm sorry. You're done.
Did he really say that, Rob? Is that also in the recording?
According to the recording, yes, this is what he said.
Wow. Can you go? What is the other video that you had, Rob?
I just have the news story of the gentleman that he made the comments to.
Can you let you see this real quick?
Let's see it.
We have shit for poor people. Who buys our shit?
And that's just part of an over an hour-long rant, says former security analyst.
I want to hear the whole thing. If that's just part of it, I want to hear the whole thing. And then I'll cherry pick what I think should be put out there, just like them.
For Campbell's, Robert Garza of Monroe.
I don't buy.
Okay, can you go back to the one line about what he said? So on the other article you were on, it says, I don't want to read it. Effing Indians don't know effing thing.
Really
the voice,
unfortunate.
they couldn't think for their effing selves. Okay, so this guy's fired. By the way, just so everybody knows, there's a couple questions I got with this, because this company, when you're looking at them, 2025 fiscal year net sales, what would you say they did in net sales?
If they don't know anything, why are they getting all of our data and all of our calling centers are going over there? Did you hear that guy? That's pretty funny.
$9 billion.
Kim, $10.25 billion. This is not a small company.
No.
Their operating net, their EBIT was 1.12 billion. Net income profit, 602 million. They employ 13,700 people. Question becomes, how the hell does a guy like this get hired at a company this big, and he gets through not finding out whether he loves the company, doing reference calls,
What has love got to do with it? Like Tina Turner said, what does fucking love got to do? It's about money, ain't it? Right? You want a cush job, making lots of money so you can afford all your prostitutes, your blow, your luxury vehicles, your luxury lifestyle, and then thumb your nose at all the rest of everybody else while you think your shit don't stink, right? Because that's what he said about all the American public. Look what he said about the poor Indians. Everybody's a victim, according to him.
Is this a miss on the
The
hiring part in
perpetrators.
the HR department, Tom?
Well, I think the CEO does three things. Number one, the CEO calls HR and says, he's gone, right? Yes, sir. He's gone. He's out the door. We're done. Good. Point two, I want a meeting with you guys about our hiring practices. How do we miss this? How do we miss somebody that pops off like this? What do we see in the references? What were there? I think that's what you would do, Pat. You'd be like, first things first, do this. Then the third thing the CEO is going to do is going to grab as many of the low sodium and the diet grade, when they all remember they say low calorie and diet grade products, and he's got to go to the microphone and say, Campbell's has been making stuff for a long time.
Yeah.
Boom. Then point one, heritage. Point two, our products are tested. Point three, we care about the consumer. Point four, take a look at these products we've been issued for low sodium, low calorie.
They don't care about the public, because if they did, they would be making premium type products for the American public. Okay? No, they're giving you crap that your dog would eat. Literally. P. Fledge says, Ike Turner, love has plenty to do with it, like the sound of my hand makes when it contacts your face, baby. Sorry, guys, I'm triggering something. Okay.
And things like this. We are there, and we are with the trends in America. It's really unfortunate to have this light shine on us. Please have a safe and happy Thanksgiving. That's all the CEO can do. But the last thing he says, so it's the last thing that the reporters remember, he's got to go out there and talk about the products that they do have that have been moderated for today's dietary needs. But that first point, he's gone, and then
Ike, even though he was talented, he was quite the son of a bitch, Toasty. Like no lie, he beat the shit out of that poor woman until she started fighting back. Seriously.
Afterwards, Monday first thing, what would you be? It'd be Monday for this happened here. Monday first thing, we'd be in the conference room with you doing an internal debrief on how the guy got hired.
Yeah,
but after we talked to the media,
Brandon.
But it is kind of true though that like it is like very gross and unhealthy, and probably like if you eat that every day, I would imagine you're gonna be less healthy throughout the course of your life. And unfortunately, it is like one of the things that people that are poor probably migrate to because it's so cheap. I mean, what is it, like $1 or $2 a can? So yeah, like it is factually true that the lowest income people probably buy that, and it is true. I think that's unhealthy to eat that every day. So you know, it's good to see it because I think people should do everything they can to avoid eating stuff like that. Like
how much is a can, by the way?
I think it's $1.
Yeah, $1 down from $1.26. Well, this is Walmart, but yeah.
Well, let's just say it's $1.
Speaking of Walmart, I saw a news thing come out that Walmart is getting ready to do all digital labels for prices. Did anybody see this? So it's constantly changing in real time according to demand. So you could be standing there, you walk up to it, and then all of a sudden that thing that's on clearance or sale or whatever it was for $125 is now $175 or $2. No. Say no to that. All of you say no to that. The teacher's demanding today. Of course, you don't have to do what I say, but I'm just saying you should say no to this. Don't allow these big corporate businesses to pin everybody against the wall and force us to do any more than what we've already been doing. They can kiss our ass. That's what we need to be telling them. Go, stupid thing.
Just to calculate how many of these they sell, okay? According to these guys, 27.1%
Amanda
of
heard
the
it
company's
too.
top line
Thank you.
revenue is the soup product.
Yep.
What? I mean, if we do them, do you see where this?
By the way,
just
they don't
went?
sell it for $1 a can. They probably sell it for 60 cents a can to Walmart and to the grocery store, and the grocery store has it on the shelf.
No, it's way less than that. Wholesale prices. If it's $1, it's about a quarter. It's about a quarter of the price usually. So $1, say about 25 cents. All right, that's about the wholesale cost. Why do I know this? Because I was in manufacturing.
Put $1.
Well, let's just, for the sake of things, let's just say $1. Okay, to make the math easier. 27% of $10 billion is $2.7 billion. $2.7 billion.
Okay, I will put the stipulation. I have not been in manufacturing in over 5 years, so it's probably more like 45 cents, considering everything is a double and quarter more than it was. So I will correct myself. I do stand corrected.
Divided by $1 is what? 2.7 billion cans.
Wow.
And divide that, let's say.
I think our dollar, honey, is only actually worth, about what, 5 cents? That whole dollar is now about what, 5-6 cents, somewhere in that range. That's all it's actually worth now. That's why everything's $100. Everything's $100, no matter what it is. All of it. It's ridiculous. They're bleeding everybody dry, and they damn well know it.
Say by 400 million, the Mexico, Canada, U.S. population.
6.75 cans. But Tom, I don't know if we drink Campbell. Do you drink Campbell?
Well, that would be 1 can of soup every
Not
other
if I can help
Have
it.
you had Campbell in the last 12 months?
I don't think I've had Campbell soup in the last 5 years. to be honest.
Have you had Campbell in the last 12 months?
No, but I think you're hitting on something here, Pat, and that is that this might be an opportunity for Campbell's, and especially for the food service industry. You also touched on something else that I think is important, and that is the systems and how they're hiring. And I have a little bit of inside knowledge. We had a business that was in the food.
How about allow RFK to really do his job and redo the whole fucking thing, upend the whole system on our Food and Drug Administration, all the bullshit that they're pushing down on us, that it's causing everybody to have all types of disease. I'm so sick and tired of it. Let RFK do his damn job. And you know what? He's finding out that the system is against him as well. Not a good thing at all.
Service industry for almost a decade. And one thing is, it's a very, dare I say, incestuous executive layer. There's a handful of HR consultants that basically manage all of not only the Fortune 500 in terms of the food service side, but also the major brands. So a Brian Nickel, you know, a Scott Boatwright, yeah, those guys are all going to these specific people. So there is a kind of a preset group of executives that are seated into a lot of these major companies, including Campbell's. You look at Rich's Foods. You also have obviously what's going on at Tyson. But the opportunity here for Campbell's actually is a pivot.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Now, I wish I could remember who it was. This was before I had my first baby. And they were shipping they were calling it chicken. Somebody was using it in their chicken dishes, and I can't remember what fast food company it was, but they were using rat meat, and it was coming through the San Francisco piers to get it there. Can you imagine what is actually we're consuming? You have no idea where it's coming from. You have no idea the quality. We have no idea about any of it, and you're consuming it, and you're thinking it's one thing when it could possibly be another. Robert, rat noodle soup. Yeah, exactly. Right? Robert, remember to like and subscribe. And if everybody's wondering about the ticker below, I'm not using my beautiful mic because my old 2017 iMac does not work. My PC blew up in all the power outages over here. And I am up $250 out of the $1,500 goal towards a new system, which you all will see the system. That's exactly where the money is going to. And I would sign an affidavit or whatever stating that any donos that come in will go towards the system. So if you want to donate, you can do so, and I will much appreciate it.
I think it's an opportunity for like food standards too in America. Like, it's not that common that somebody who's a high up executive will come out and say how gross their food actually is. Like, it's appalling how low of a bar that lobbyists have lobbied for food standards in America. Like, because even just like mass producing chicken, like you ever see the standards of how cows and chickens are kept in like those big industrial agriculture places? There's like even laws in place to prevent the media from talking about because of how bad it is.
By the way,
oh, you mean those propaganda laws? Yes, which in all those conditions breeds disease. And the more stressed out animals are, more close conditions, more that they don't have access to, you know, normal things like chickens scratching in the ground, eating bugs, getting all the nutrition that they need, not just from, you know, the grains, but also the great outdoors that they don't get access to. It breeds disease, and then you're consuming it. And people think that whatever the animal eats doesn't affect you. Oh, it absolutely does, 150%. I'm sure Uncle Guns would agree with that.
When you think about this, yesterday we had the head of the FDA here on the podcast, Marty Makary, okay? And we talked about how they're going from the food pyramid, which came out in 1992 to 05, and then they changed it to My Plate. And
the food pyramid actually was in the 80s, but we'll pretend it was, you know, the 1990s. I think it actually predates to what, the late 60s. Somebody who's in that era can let me know, but I'm pretty sure it was the 60s that the food pyramid started really becoming a thing, which was another way to help point people into a direction and funnel more gross to all of their donors.
They're about to announce the new food pyramid that we have to teach kids and all this other stuff. And yeah, My Plate is the latest one that they have. And one of the things we discussed is
You know what, Robert? I'm going to give you the absolute kudos, and I will give you credit for this idea, okay? You know what would be fun? He says, if when you become monetized on this channel, you call your membership tiers simp tiers. I'm going to call it simp tiers, courtesy of Robert Platinum. Thank you for the idea, sweetheart.
How much, you know, the food that we're intaking, the healthiest countries with food and the most unhealthiest countries with food. The top 5 healthiest countries in
The top unhealthiest countries in the world is America. It's America. He doesn't even have to finish it. I already know what it is because I've been doing this forever. Robert also says you can have a simp of the show for the #1 contributor. You know, I like you, Robert. I'm going to use those ideas. Thank you, honey.
food, Rob. I think #1 was Japan. #2 was Greece. #3 was I don't know who 3 was, but I do know it was it Australia, and then it was Kuwait, and then it was Israel. Okay, no, it was Australia. Israel was one of them at #5. I know that's a fan favorite for a lot of you guys. And then on the top 5 unhealthiest, #1 country in the world in unhealthiest food was America. For the amount of processed food that we have. Yeah, I do think this is.
And no, I didn't finish watching this before I played it for you. I watched about 5 minutes. That was it.
Massive opportunity for them to do something about it. Because if they don't, the guys that are in right now, they're going to keep exposing them. This isn't good. This was a horrible situation for these guys. But this was definitely not a good thing for them. Yeah, they go. Japan is 1. And then it was Italy, Greece, Spain. Well, apparently Israel was 5. Okay. And then who was the unhealthiest? The unhealthiest was U.S., Kuwait, Saudi, Micronesia, and then Qatar. So,
Pat, by the way, sorry. Think about what that does for the.
Why are the Saudis in there? Like, who's importing what over there? Are we importing our crap over there? Like, where is all the crap coming from? Is it us giving it to them? I got to imagine it must be.
Medical industry, like we spent $2.5 trillion a year on medical.
I'm gonna look this up later.
Stuff like you know, imagine how much of a factor this plays into that.
For sure, but this was a accidental dumb thing to do that exposes that 600 milligrams of sodium that people like Tom, Paul, Brandon, and others are paying attention to. 2026 is around the corner, and for some of you guys that have a dream, you have a vision, you have something that you get excited about. This is something I want to share with you that I was excited about. For 3.5 years, I kept telling my kids, one day, I kept telling my wife, one day. And it all starts like this with a decision and a plan. I want you to watch this video. Go ahead, Rob. So I want to show you something.
Wait, before he does his thing, let's read Uncle Gunn's comment. Correct. But animals process most of the bad stuff. Plus, most studies state the animals go through a wash period that rids most bad stuff. Better to eat the animals than processed food. I will agree with you, but considering I've done extensive research between the difference with, say, grass-fed beef versus conventional beef, all of those things that they are consuming is where most of our bad cholesterol is coming from, okay? Putting all of the GMO grains aside, putting aside all of the rancid oils and all of those extra additives and the fake sugars and everything else that's in there, you have to remember that they have corroded cholesterol, which our body processes, and then their corroded cholesterol raises ours. Otherwise, I 100% agree with you.
3.5 years, I would drive past this street and I would look at this property, 11 acres on the airport, one of the last properties of its kind.
Hi.
Said, one day I want to own this property.
Mommy milkers.
When we
well,
did,
today I'm
there was nothing here. I said, I want to build a soccer field here. Boom. We got a futsal soccer field. This hanger here, I said, you know what? For election night, why don't we do a live event? This turned into an event. The biggest live stream worldwide on YouTube on election night. 2,000 people were here. I said, let's take that hanger on the other side. Let's turn it into a gym. Basketball, jiu-jitsu, weights. Boom. Now it's a gym. Let's take that upstairs, which was a 2-bedroom for the pilots. Let's open it up and fit 51 employees there. Boom. We have that now. I got a bunch of other things to tell you about that we got going on here. But everything started with the plan. If you're watching this yourself saying, Pat, I got big plans as well. I host an event called the Business Planning Workshop. If you haven't yet registered, but you got big plans, click on a link below.
All right, enough shameless plugging for you, sirs, at the end of the video.
Yourself, go register for this.
We're done with that one. All right, we're going to check out a little something on my other favorite topic that I love to rip on, okay, is the red pill. Why do I do this? Am I a feminist? No, I would not call myself a feminist. If I believe in my own autonomy and my right to live my dreams, that's about where it ends, right there. If that makes me a feminist, then I guess so. So let's take a look at this gentleman, and then we're going to listen to a rockin' song by a great friend of mine that they made for me to debut tonight. I hope you will all enjoy it. Let's start with this one. Let's get it queued up, and I am taking a while because, well, I suck at this a little bit, okay? All right. Here we go. What does this man have to say? It's a short. Enjoy it.
I'm not here to fight men. I'm here to fight for them, because the red pill is presented as medicine.
So am I.
But it's actually a poison, and peer-reviewed research proves it. Red pill and manosphere content preys on angry, rejected men and turns their pain into blame. It tells them women are the enemy, that dating is a war, and they're losing.
What is the number one thing that they say? Women and their nature is the problem, sir. No, it's not the problem. The problem lies with the individual, because everyone has free will.
That feminism ruined everything. The very people they want to date become their adversaries.
Mm-hmm.
And it's easier to buy into that story than to look inward. But the science is clear.
Oh, what did I say? The problem starts in here, not everyone else. Always remember, where the problem follows, who's the common denominator? You.
Studies consistently show that red pill communities promote hostile sexism, dehumanize women, and radicalize male pain into misogyny.
Sure does. Turns them into radicals like feminists. Feminism for boys.
And to top it off, it's not helping them date either.
Nope.
Men who endorse red pill beliefs report higher levels of loneliness, romantic dissatisfaction, and psychological distress. But the consequences are real and deadly. Just a short drive from this studio, Elliot Rodger murdered 6 people at UC Santa Barbara with a manifesto filled with hatred for women. And he became a martyr for red pill communities, a symbol of what happens when male pain festers into violence. For all the lectures about female nature and alpha dominance, red pill men aren't forming real relationships. They're staying single, bitter, and stuck. The more they consume this content, the worse their life gets. Not because women changed, but because they did. In the end, it leaves them lonely, angry, and blaming everyone but the ideology that failed them. I'm not here to fight men.
What did you think about that, gentlemen? Was what he said incorrect? I don't believe what he said is incorrect. And I'm abroad, and I like men. And I've been around men who've created problems for me. But do I stand around and say, oh, it's men, 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 men? No, I don't. I take responsibility for myself and say my choices, my choices. King TL, my buddy, where you been? It's a rerun. I feel I'm getting this is not a rerun, sir. I am live right now. What do you mean? See, I'm right here, live, large and in charge, like Big Marge. We are live. You know what? Let's listen to that rockin' tune we got, and I hope you all enjoy. Let me cue it up. Gotta scroll, gotta scroll, gotta scroll. Okay, here we go. Is it turning up? Too loud? Let me know.
Yeah. If the manosphere dies before I wake, I'll toss a red pill tea right down the drain. Scroll to every channel, laugh at the take. Scroll to every channel, laugh at the takes. If the manosphere dies before I wake, I'll toss the red pill tea right down the drain. Scroll to every channel, laugh at the take. Scroll to every channel, laugh at the takes. The manosphere flatline this morning. Yeah, it's dead, finally dead. It used to be lectures about purpose and grind. Now it's TikToks of dudes who ain't seen sunshine. Pearl Davis talking like she's 6'9". Rolo writing essays longer than
how tall is she? 5'11".
Got advice for the bros, but half the chat's asking where your shirt go. Andrew Wilson debates like a Walmart handoff, waving his mic around, yelling turn your cam off. The sphere used to talk discipline goals. Now it's 600 courses on how not to simp, bro. Everyone claiming they're alpha and swole, but half these creators get winded by a salad bowl. If the manosphere dies before I wake, I'll toss the red pill tea right down the drain. Scroll to every channel, laugh at the takes. Scroll to every channel, laugh at the takes. Let the manosphere flatline.
Don't get me going. I'll go back to my old hip hop days, honey.
Dead. Bigger the podcast,
Live 11,
bigger
she's
the
a big
meltdown.
bitch.
Everybody mad, yelling who's a real alpha now. Panel full of folks who never go outside, talking about women like they Pokemon types. Rolo dropping charts with 600 arrows. Like bro, trust the math, it's proven by sparrows. Pearl inviting guests just to roast they clothes. She got dudes fighting in the back like Maury shows. Wilson showing up with theology quotes, arguing with atheists
I'm
in
tiny.
$3 coats. Donovan somewhere saying
not
stay
tiny.
sharp king,
I'm small.
but forgets what point he made twice.
Small in attitude.
Turn into a main convention. Everybody flex, zero comprehension. If the sphere collapses, it won't need a tomb. Just bury it under another failed tomb. If the manosphere dies before I wake, I'll toss a red pill tea right down the drain. Scroll to every channel, laugh at the takes. Scroll to every channel, laugh at the takes. If the manosphere died this morning, and honestly,
we needed the break.
Recoil? Hey, you. Nice to see you, eyes.
yeah. If the manosphere dies before I wake, I'll toss a red pill tea right down the drain. Scroll to every channel, laugh at the takes. Scroll to every channel, laugh at the takes. If the manosphere dies before I wake, I'll toss the red pill tea right down the drain. Scroll to every channel, laugh at the takes. Scroll to every channel, laugh at the takes. The manosphere flatline this morning. Yeah, it's dead, finally dead. It used to be lectures about purpose
Happy
and
Thanksgiving
grind. Now
to
it's
you, too.
TikToks of dudes who ain't seen sunshine. Pearl Davis talking like she's 6'9". Rolo writing essays longer than airline lines. Donovan Sharp got advice for the bros, but half the chat's asking where your shirt go. Andrew Wilson debates like a Walmart Gandalf.
Andrew?
Waving his mic around, yelling turn your cam off. The sphere used to talk discipline goals. Now it's 600 courses on how not to simp, bro. Everyone claiming they're alpha and swole, but half these creators get winded by a salad bowl. If the manosphere dies before I wake, I'll toss the red pill tea right down the drain. Scroll to every channel, laugh at the takes. Scroll to every channel, laugh at the takes. To the manosphere flatline this morning. Yeah, it's dead, officially dead. Bigger the podcast, bigger the meltdown. Everybody mad, yelling who's a
How's
real
everybody
alpha
liking
now.
this?
Panel full of
I
folks
think
who
it's-
never
I think
go
it's
outside, talking about women like they Pokemon types. Rolo dropping
Do a little
charts
electrical
with
slide.
600 arrows. Like bro, trust the math, it's proven by sparrows. Pearl inviting guests just to roast they clothes. She got dudes fighting in the back like Maury
So do
shows.
you,
Wilson showing up
so
with
do you,
theology quotes, arguing with atheists in $3 coats. Donovan somewhere saying stay sharp kings, but forgets what point he made.
Did anyone hear the one from Abba and Preach? That was also Tom. More R&B.
Zero comprehension. If the sphere collapses, it won't need a tomb. Just bury it under another failed tomb. If the manosphere dies before I wake, I'll toss a red pill tea right down the drain. Scroll to every channel, laugh at the takes. Scroll to every channel, laugh at the takes. If the manosphere died this morning, and honestly,
We needed the break.
We did. All right, there we go. That was Bomb, courtesy of a good friend of mine, which name shall not be mentioned at the moment. They may change their mind later. Thank you for doing that. And here's the deal, boys. I can tell you how to get broads. You want to get broads? My old man was like 5'4", okay? Man's man, didn't fuck around, all right? And he could get the broads anytime he wanted them. You know why? Because he was charismatic and he had a personality. He knew how to dress and he knew how to treat a woman to get at least what he wanted. So when the goal is to get broads, not be lonely, let me remind one and all, it's not all just about you, okay? It's about you and her as a unit. I'm going to give you a little 101 on this, okay? Men and women are made to be in synergy. We work together. We complete each other. And when we don't, and it's out of alignment, and one's jockeying for power more than the other, that's when you start butting heads. But if you can remember that you are incomplete without that other significant person, and we are to be each other's help, and we are to build each other up, then you are no longer thinking just about yourself and just your needs, then you've won the game, okay? So if you want to date and you want to learn how to get broads, start talking to bitches like me. I'll tell you how to get it done, all right? In the meantime, when you start listening to all these red pill losers, red pill losers, as Maxer likes to say, the truth is everything that they're doing to you and for you is designed to keep you away from those goals. Okay. Why? Because it keeps you hooked into the system. So you are reliant upon them for the next solution, for the next answer. It's a paid for program and show designed to maintain and line their pockets, all of them, from Pearl Davis to Rolo Tomasi, Grandma Tomasi. Yeah, I said it. And all the rest of them. You want to win the game, remember that the goal is to work on yourself internally, okay? Because the common denominator is always you. And with that, I am going to sign off. But get yourself built up, gentlemen. Get confidence. Start to learn how to enjoy life and appreciate women for what they are. And women, appreciate men for what they are, okay? Because you ain't going to survive this thing without each other. And in saying that, yes, Andrew Wilson is a cuck. Quoting P. Fletch. That's right. Screaming Beagle, I love you. Nice to see you again. Come back and see me again. King TL and all of you, thank you so much for joining me tonight on our Thanksgiving emergency stream of Stars Feeling Better. So she said, why the hell not at the end of the night? Sorry, I didn't get this planned sooner. In the meantime, come back. We'll be having Max. We're going to talk about testosterone, the importance of it, steroids, and other things for men's health. And then we're going to start talking about cosmetic procedures because I like that type of stuff. You know why? Because I'm abroad. Okay? I like it. Anyway, I wish you all a wonderful weekend. The weekend to come. Have a great holiday and God bless. The teacher is signing out. Remember to like and subscribe. And if you want to donate, you can use your phone right there. And that little QR will take you from everything to my Instagram to my dono page. And it will go straight to, and I promise, not with fingers crossed, I'm sorry, and I promise it will go only to the PC that I'm much need of so I can use this again and not look like an amateur. Good night, boys and girls. Until next time, I love you all. God bless. Bye. Oops. I forgot to do the end stream. Oops.